One night, one morning, somebody wakes me up. We're sleeping in the tent. Somebody wakes me up about 4 o'clock in the morning and said I'm on my turn to go for guard in the tower. So I grabbed my equipment, my rucksack, my web gear, my M16, and I walk out of the tent across the little compound where we are, and I climb up the ladder to the tower, and I'm on guard duty. It's for about 4 o'clock in the morning, and this is probably the 31st of January, 68. And up in the tower is a starlight scope, which is a night vision apparatus. And all of a sudden there's this explosions, kaboom. And I jump up and I look out over the tower and I see explosions against our bunkers. We have a bunker in front of us, a bunker over here on this end of the bridge, a bunker over here on this end of the bridge. And I can see explosions going against the bunker. And I can see tracers coming into the bunkers and tracers going out of the bunkers. And we're under attack. I find out later it's the 2nd NVA Division, North Vietnamese soldiers. There's no use of me being up in the tower. I mean, I don't have a radio to say, I see people here, I see people there. So I shinny down the tower. I open the trap door, and I come down, land on the roof of the CP. I roll off the roof of the CP into where the tents are, and the tents are surrounded by sandbag walls about 4 feet high. So I think, okay, get behind some cover, Rick, and find something to do. So I'm behind this, between the tents and the sandbag wall, and I'm moving around. And my plan is to move over to the riverside of the tents, where I can shoot across the river at muzzle flashes, where they're shooting into our bunkers. That's my plan. And I'm fixing to move around inside this little sandbag perimeter that I've found to be in, when I see Doc Don Preen leave the command post. And the command post has a little front door, so to speak, a little gate, a little door. And people are standing there. We're under attack. So there's people there that are ready to shoot. So there's people that are standing in the doorway. Doc runs, leaves the command post. He runs down towards the tents where I just left. I assume to get his medical equipment. I don't know why he left the command post. But he comes running back towards the command post. I hear 3 rifle cracks, bang, bang, bang. And Doc goes down. And he cries, I could hear his anguish in his voice. He says, "No, no, it's me, Doc. It's me, Doc. No, no, it's me, Doc." And he says, "No, no, oh no, no." So Doc got shot, I'm assuming by friendly fire, from someone standing in a CP, seeing this person running towards a CP. I'm assuming he got shot by friendly fire. I don't know that for a fact, but his death certificate that I found online says he was a mortar explosion killed him. But Doc goes down, and he's right outside my position. He's probably 15 yards away from me. And he's saying, "No, no, it's me, Doc. Doc, it's me, Doc." And all of a sudden, I hear Henry Pickett's voice saying, no, Doc, that's Doc, Doc. So Henry runs out of the CP and he picks up Doc and he cradles him on the ground there and he says, Doc, speak to me, Doc, Doc. And Doc Preen is just saying, no, 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 it's me, Doc, no, no. And Henry's saying, Doc, speak to me, Doc, speak to me. And just then there's this huge explosion. It's either a rocket landed or a mortar landed, I don't know which. I can see the aura of the explosion. I see yellows, I see reds, I see blacks. I see this explosion and I feel like the sandbag wall I'm behind has fallen over and fallen on top of me. I'm thinking because of the explosion, the sandbags fell on me and broke my foot and my leg. Because I just felt this, I didn't feel a tearing of shrapnel. I felt a thud.
Like a baseball bat.
I felt like somebody punched in the chest with a, you know,
a concussion or
like
something?
that. Yeah.
From the explosion?
From the explosion. And I knew I got hit with something, but I figured broken bones because the sandbag wall fell on me. It felt like somebody picked up a sandbag and threw it down on my leg. That's it felt. The pressure that I felt from this explosion. And I don't know how Doc and Henry survived, but Henry survived, Doc didn't, from the explosion. The explosion occurs, and I know that I'm hurt. I don't know that I'm bleeding, but I know that I'm hurt because I felt this concussion, broke bones in my foot. That's my perception. So I move out of my position, out of this rubble that I'm in, and I crawl over to lay up against the command post. I got my back against the command post. The river is off to my left. Doc Preen and Henry are off to my right, on the other side of this sandbag wall. And I look down, I got my M16 cradled across my front, and I look down and my M16, the receiver's all covered with blood. And I think, well, shit, blood. So I think, must be your blood, Rick. So I start grabbing my neck, my chest, and thinking, explosion, shrapnel must have cut me up.
So did the explosion throw you? It moved you, or?
Must have. I mean, I was within 5 feet of the explosion. I don't know if it threw me against the, next thing I knew, I'm laying up against the CP. And I look down and my M16's all covered with blood. And I think, well, shit, where's that blood coming from? So I start reaching around my neck and my chest, self-assessing, see if I'm hurt somewhere. Turns out I got a cut here on my chin and a cut into my right eye. And that's where the blood came from. I'm laying up against the CP and I happen to brush my chin against my uniform. And I look down, my uniform's all covered with blood. So I'm bleeding pretty badly from this cut up under here, apparently. And I lay up against the CP, and I'm not dead. I'm still aware that the war is going on. And I'm thinking I need to do something to help. Because nobody is coming out of this command post. I know there's like a half a dozen guys in there. Why aren't they coming out? I'm the only one outside in the tents area. The other guys are in the bunkers on the bridge, but I'm the only guy out there. Why didn't the rest of these guys come out of the command post
Or the tents, you know?
and take up positions to do something
Yeah.
instead of shooting Doc?
Yeah.
I don't know why that, but I'm out there by myself and I'm thinking, okay, Rick, time to do something. So I move myself to a position where I'm behind some sandbags and I can see the river, and my plan is to shoot at muzzle flashes coming out of the Anton village into our bunker on that side of the river. That's my plan is. So I'm laying there. I have my magazines out. I have them on the sandbags in front of me. I have a round in my chamber. And I'm getting ready to put my plan into effect. When all of a sudden, I hear a whistle blow. It's like a playground whistle. And it just shrills the night. It's surreal. How do you describe it? All the whistle blows and it's surreal. It's like somebody called timeout. All the shooting on their part stopped. And it was, again, it's surreal. All of a sudden, timeout. It's like the movies. And I remember thinking it's exactly like the movies. The war stopped. The whistle blew. This voice rings out and starts jabbering something in Vietnamese. Don't know what it was said, but I think it said time to bring up the boat to put the explosions on the center span of the bridge and blow the center span of the bridge. Because the next few minutes, there's this huge explosion. I can feel this concussion roll past me as I'm laying there. And the explosion of the bridge is probably 30 yards away from me. And water comes raining down like rain. And I think, well, shit, they blew the center span. That was the explosion. That was their job, was to...
Sappers, huh?
Sappers was to blow the center span. And I thought, we had guys on that end of the bridge, we had guys on this end of the bridge that should have seen it and fired at them, but they didn't. Either that or they were
killed, huh?
Killed. I don't know if they were killed or not. But in this bunker on this end of the bridge was two guys that I knew, John Hasbrook and what's his name? Why am I forgetting his name? Michael Mangialardo. We're in this bunker on the village side of the river. And the explosion occurs. Water comes raining down. And they start to pull back. I'm laying there and I see this, I hear this explosion at Chu Lai airbase. And Chu Lai airbase is off to my left, up over here. And I see this huge fireball in the sky where they've either rocketed or mortared the ammo dump or the fuel depot, one of the two on the airbase. And this huge fireball is just rolling up in the sky, and I think, oh shit, this is big deal stuff. You better pay attention if you want to go home, if you want to be around in the morning. So again, I'm trying to put my plan together. I'm going to fire across the river at muzzle flashes. And after the bridge blows, they pull back because the war stops. I'm laying up against a CP, and I can hear Lieutenant Livingston say things like, What do you mean we can't get choppers and gunships? I think, well, crap. We could use some gunships. And we never get helicopter support. Next thing I know, I see my squad leader. His name is Mouton, Sergeant Mouton. And I'm laying up against the CP. And I guess I have blood on my leg and my foot down here. I don't pay attention to it. I don't see it. I mean, I can't see that. Again, I'm thinking broken bones for the concussion of that sandbag wall falling on me. I had no concept that I had shrapnel tear into me. So the next thing I know, Sergeant Mouton's helping me up, and we're moving out towards the road where a helicopter lands. And they put me in the helicopter. And I don't know if there's anybody else in there or not, but I'm in the helicopter. And
You're probably the only one that was outside during the fight, so
Yeah.
you're probably the only one who got injured.
but I remember hopping out across the way, and I see the red-headed guy in one of the bunkers. His name is Bedford, and he's telling me about shooting at an NVA guy coming down the road with his M79 grenade launcher, and he hits him with the projectile, but it doesn't explode because the guy's too close.
Yeah.
So he said I had to finish him off with my .45.